What's up guys, and welcome back to Lincoln. We've made it to the January transfer window and we have had a couple of signings. We've brought in a couple of folk. Defenders, as I said I would. Two defenders, brought in this guy Palmer Brown and Konza, who I need to go and check where they actually came from. Palmer Brown came from the MLS and Konza came from, I believe, League One as well. But yeah, we signed a young lad from the MLS because he has what would appear to be pretty decent potential. So yeah, Sporting Kansas City we managed to sign him from, and Charlton Athletic is where Konza came from. Both in the region of, well, Konza cost $1 million and Palmer Brown cost 1.5. We did sell a few folk. Matt Green, we sold him to Barnet for 370k, which I think it was probably a pretty decent deal. He's 31 now. He'd already started to go down in rating, and I'd been playing around with. I mentioned this in the last week's video, but I kept playing around with Rabbity up top, and it was actually really starting to work pretty well. So I kind of thought might as well stick with this. We don't really need Matt Green anymore, so decided to accept Barnet. Actually, Barnet's offer was pretty poor to begin with. And I countered them with 370 grand, which they promptly accepted. I think by the time the club took their cut, we only got about 280, which is a bit of a joke. But anyway, yeah, we sold him, made a bit of money. We also sold Vickers, one of our kind of backup goalkeepers, to Exeter. And then this was kind of a mistake. I didn't really mean to sell him. But ultimately I did, although it wasn't really a big issue. So that was two goalkeepers I sold, and to be honest, I thought he was the same person. I kind of forgot that I'd sold this guy, and when an offer came in for Farman, I just assumed he was our third choice keeper, and because he wasn't that great rated, and accepted the offer, which, yeah, I probably shouldn't. Well, actually, it worked out pretty well in the end, because I just promoted a lad from our youth team who came in, and he's already 61 rated. Igor Cardozo, one of the two goalkeepers we have in our youth team, or had in our youth team, that had really good potential. The other guy actually has better current rating, but he's not old enough to be signed, so I had to sign this one. But yeah, he just played in the cup game a couple of days ago, performed pretty nicely, so I'm quite happy with that. But yeah, Silveira, our current goalkeeper, he's starting to become good. He's starting to make some actual saves, which is, it's good. Now that he's 77 rated, he's actually decided to start playing as a goalkeeper. But yeah, it's nice having a goalkeeper that actually makes saves now. Rabbity up to 72 rated up top. Castro, another guy, came through our youth team, he's 70 rated. And Bauer came through our youth team as well, 69. So yeah, all looking pretty decent, and our bench is looking not bad either. Yeah, so basically, after I sold Matt Green and got rid of a load of players from our team that we didn't need, that let all the contracts expire at the end of the season, we had about 4 million to play with. I spent just under 3 million of that buying the two centre backs. I also sent out my scout again, which cost us a bit of money. We do still have pretty decent amount of money in the bank, but I don't really know. I don't really have any ideas of who to buy, to be honest. So I'm just going to leave it because I think if there's one area we could strengthen, it would probably be in the midfield. If Woodyard or Bostwick got injured, it might be a bit of an issue. But we do have players. Castro could quite easily fit in there. Javier as well can play, and I think Cruz can possibly. Yeah, he quite likes playing central mid as well. So we do have players who could potentially fill the gap if one of them got injured. I might have a quick look just to see if we can find somebody just to bring in, possibly someone with decent potential, just to keep on the bench in case one of them do get injured. But yeah, that's pretty much it. We'll have a look at some of the deals that have gone through so far this window, and it's absolutely outrageous, some of the deals. Matt Hummels is the top deal, 54 million to Arsenal from Bayern Munich, so that's something. Barcelona have spent over 100 million on Van Dijk and Pjanic. I mean, it's if you look at Barcelona's squad, you can tell they probably do need to like buy in a couple extra players. It's not very deep, but to just go and splash 100 million on Van Dijk and Pjanic, that's pretty hefty. Timo Werner as well off to Paris for 47 million. That's quite the purchase. Riyad Mahrez has moved to Bayern Munich for 36.5 million. 36.5 million pounds. For a 1-year wonder, that's absolutely outrageous. Jesus Christ! Swansea have signed Rafinha for 35.5 million pounds. Where does Swansea just get the money to spend 35.5 million pounds on Rafinha? It's ridiculous. Chiellini to Man City for 35 million. Angel Correa from Atletico Madrid to Leicester City for 31.5 million. So basically, Bayern Munich bought Mahrez, and then Leicester went and bought Correa to fill the gap. Yeah, fair enough. Wait, what? Robin to Schalke for Right, okay, whatever. Stoke have bought Kagawa. Alright. Patrick Herrmann from Borussia Mönchengladbach to Arsenal for 15 mil. Wait a minute. Vardy to Lazio for 15 mil. Lazio. Alright, okay. Whatever. Ryan Bertrand has moved to Barcelona for 15 million. So he's moved with Van Dijk to Barcelona. Anthony Knockart to Stuttgart for 13 million pounds. Phil Jones to Wolfsburg for 12.5 million. Oh, that's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. That's probably actually what he's worth, to be honest, 12.5 million. Usually pretty overrated, but that's probably what he's actually worth. Yeah, that's as far as we get to go. Some absolutely outrageous deals. Vardy to Lazio is pretty outrageous. But Phil Jones as well, that's... I quite like this, that they've added in this, the ability to see through all the transfer history, because there's some outrageous... Aaron Lennon to Burnley, I mean, that's alright, actually. There's some outrageous deals go through, and you never see them, because they never make any of the deals, like the top deals, and unless you're constantly checking the recent deals, you never see them. Now you can go back and look at them, and you also see some interesting ones in this breaking news bit as well, which kind of sometimes go through the hole in the net. Well, that was an awful way of saying that. Sometimes fall through the net, and you never see them. So yeah, it's quite nice to be able to actually go and have a look. But we'll fire through transfer deadline day and see if anybody actually buys anybody. Odegaard from Real Madrid to Spartak Moscow for 14.5. He's got like, I don't know what his potential is, but everybody obviously is pretty raving about him in recent years. Well, he's kind of disappeared from the spotlight, so I'm not really sure if he's quite as highly rated as he once was. But that's an interesting deal, going to Spartak Moscow. I hope Real Madrid have a sell-on clause on that, because that's I mean, it's a decent amount of money for somebody his age, but the potential that boy's showing should be getting more money than that, I would have thought. Why they would sell him in the first place, with the potential he's been showing, not really sure, but they decided to. Anyway, we'll keep going through. Now Mignolet's gone to Lazio for 13 million. Lazio, I mean, Mignolet's not great, but Lazio are going to be a pretty decent squad next season. But yeah, don't know where they're getting all the money from, to be honest, but hey ho. Spending it seemingly wisely. As wisely as you can possibly be when you're buying folk like Mignolet. But, you know, it's better than several other people. Glorious Karius, for instance. But anyway, we move on. And why are you sending me transfer offers for somebody after the transfer deadline? No. Just no. It's not happening. So anyway, transfer deadline day concluded. 350 million. Well, almost 351 million. Pretty decent amount of money spent. I have no idea where any of that money went on transfer deadline day, because there was no big transfers as far as I could see. That 15 million for Odegaard was the biggest thing I saw going through on transfer deadline day. But yeah, I'll have a quick look through the rest of the transfers. We have Jesus amongst us. He walks amongst our youth squad. Yeah, we'll have a quick look at the transfers. Where is it? Transfer history, and just see if there was anything absolutely outrageous that somehow didn't pop up on any of the recent deals. Oh, that'll be where Lazio got their money from. They sold Immobile to Valencia for 33.5 million. Fair enough. Lucas Vazquez for 31 million, almost 32 million, to Napoli, who just sold Milik to Wolfsburg and replaced him with Vazquez. I mean, Napoli don't have any strikers as it starts, because they have Mertens, who, although he is a striker, he wasn't originally a striker, he was a winger. Milik was their only, like, kind of recognised striker until he got injured, and that's why they play Mertens through the middle now. But they've got rid of him, and they've signed another winger. So, yeah, I'm not really sure. I don't think they have any what you would consider a recognised striker. You've got to be taking the piss. Man City have re-signed Edin Dzeko from Roma for 22 million. I've no idea what they sold him to Roma in the first place for. Probably less than 22 million. But they've re-signed him. I mean, I don't blame them. The form he's been showing in real life the last couple of years has been pretty impressive. So, yeah, but I mean, surely it's going to be like, he's still probably going to be second choice to Aguero at the very least. Probably even behind Gabriel Jesus. So I'm not really sure why they've signed him back. But yeah, I'm not really sure who Roma have got to replace. Actually, I think I know who Roma got to replace him. They got Christian Benteke for 27 million. So yeah, Dzeko for Benteke could work. Anyway, that is pretty much going to sum up transfer deadline day. Our squad is looking pretty decent. I've completely forgot to mention, we're top of the league. 3 games played, 3 wins on the board, no points dropped. I'm not even sure how many goals we conceded. 2 goals conceded in 3 games, which, given our record last season, not too bad. Our defence has definitely tightened up since we got these 2 guys in at the back. The defence has been absolutely atrocious last season. It's been pretty poor throughout the entirety of pre-season. Brought in these 2 guys, and immediately it's made a difference. Also helps as well that our goalkeeper is actually turned up and is actually saving things now, which is quite nice. But yeah, defence is looking much better. Also, our goals are being spread around quite a lot. We're not scoring. We've got 7 goals on the board, which is top of the league as far as I can tell. Yeah, top of the league for goals scored, but none of them. They're not all scored by the same person. Where are we on the goal scoring chart? Rabity's scored 3. He's top of our team for our goal scorers, but they're being spread around quite a lot. I think Castro's popped up a few. Silviera, not Silviera, Santa Maria. Woodyard even has popped up, and Anderson, Bauer, Arnold. They're all kind of getting their scoring goals. Even in the cup game, this Henriquez boy, had him playing in the cup game. He scored a goal. Actually, in the final game of our pre-season tournament, Michael Bostwick scored 2 goals. Our defence was in such bad shape in that game, going into that game as well. We got through our entire pre-season tournament, through the semi-final, and then in the final itself, our 2 centre-backs we had, this Indian lad and this Chinese guy as well, both decided that they're on international duty. So yeah, we actually ended up playing Bostwick in defence. He has the ability to, but we ended up playing him as a centre-back, and he still managed to score 2 goals. Take it to extra time, actually went straight to penalties, which we promptly lost the final on penalties, so that was kind of unfortunate. But yeah, Silviera actually had an absolutely stunning game in the final. Probably saved us going even further down, and we actually brought it back twice, I think, to draw the game 2-2 in the end. And yeah, it was all Bostwick and Silviera that managed to do that. But yeah, that's pretty much going to wrap up this week. If you've enjoyed the video, then give it a thumbs up and subscribe as well if you're new around here. And there might not be a video next week. I'm moving, so depending on how smoothly the move goes, may or may not have enough time to actually play enough FIFA for another episode next week. So it might be 2 weeks before the next episode goes up. If not, then it will be up next week. But if there is no episode next week, then that's the reason why. But yeah, I'll catch you guys next week. So until then, well, that's not right. I'll catch you guys next week or potentially the week after. So until then, cheerio.